Welcome to the Advertising Forum. Today's episode is brought to you by InMobi, where we're covering emerging trends and strategies in mobile app growth.
With us today are Phil Golas, the Vice President, Technology and Activation from Publicis Media, and Sammy Fisher, the VP, Mobile Install and Loyalty Lead from InMobi. Phil and Sammy, welcome to the Advertising Forum.
Jeremy, at ATG, good to meet you. Excited to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you to InMobi for sponsoring this series. We really appreciate it. And we're really looking forward to diving in. Phil, this one's for you. So as a vice president at Publicis Media, you get a lot of insights from your clients and you see a lot of things that they're doing. What emerging trends are you seeing among those clients regarding mobile app growth and loyalty programs? And are there any specific verticals like QSR, shopping, entertainment, travel that stand out to you the most?
Yeah, there's a couple that stand out. Well, personalization is huge now. There's so many apps that are out there that have loyalty programs, personalized offers. A lot of loyalty programs now have gamified their loyalty programs, seeing a lot of that for different brands. And, it's really spanning all verticals, QSR, travel, seeing a lot of that, incentivizing users and really giving them a personalized experience once they're in the app. And I think one of the things we're seeing that from is, and Sam, curious if you've experienced this, I think COVID was a little bit of an accelerant for that too. Some businesses have had to kind of shift their business model from maybe traditional brick and mortar, and now they have a mobile order and delivery piece of their business that requires apps. So I'm seeing a lot of that where a more seamless, personalized experience for consumers.
What are you saying, Sammy?
Yeah, I mean, Phil, that's a great point. Building on like the app ecosystem from an advertiser perspective is the ability to personalize that experience. I would say a couple other things. One is we are seeing greater synergies across bought, owned, earned channels for customers, right? So the ability for them to actually and brands to interlink what they're doing has been one big thing. The next piece is around deeper content development. So one of the pieces is the loyalty or mobile app loyalty marketplace has become more matured over the last 5 to 7 years. Is this desire to actually acquire, engage, but also provide this brand connection through deeper content, right? And we see that playing out within the app, and then obviously from even outside of the other channels that the advertiser has available to them. And then we've actually just also seen greater investment overall in mobile in-app supply. So 65% of all mobile time spent is within apps versus 35% around the walled gardens. That's an eMarketer kind of stat from early this year. So this emerging and continuing almost trend of understanding where customers are continues to see advertisers want to be in those places, focus on those environments. So those are three big things that I think we've seen from an emerging trend standpoint across this year, going into next year, which I think will be big.
Gosh, Sammy, that is a great stat. I just learned that for me right now. So 65% of all time spent is not inside the walled gardens, is what we're saying, correct? That's what eMarketer reported?
Correct.
Okay, so that leads us to our next question then. Where do mobile apps fit into the overall omnichannel mix? So if I'm Phil, if I'm at Publicis Media, if I'm a client of InMobi, if I'm just a buyer, a planner, a strategist in our greater digital ecosystem, how has this changed over the years?
To Phil's point before, the pandemic accelerated certain brands and more so omnichannel brands, not so much the app first players were already there, but just absolutely accelerated the investment that needed to happen. And why that really is, the mobile app is the gateway to a customer from an always on demand perspective. Everyone's got their phones 24/7. And so if you want to connect with that individual, the ability to do that through your loyalty program, through your app program, is second to none from a mobile perspective. And that in itself allows brands to drive such a deeper connection along the path to purchase. So it's not so much as in purchases, that's always great for businesses, but actually if you're a retailer and you want to actually have a point of contact with a customer to always be on to understand what are the latest deals, what are the reviews, how do I think about a product, is that a product right for my need? These are all very intricate engaging ways from a path to purchase perspective for that customer before they actually buy it on the app. So it allows this, ongoing, always on demand experience for that customer rather than going to a competitor.
Phil, how do you look at it?
Yeah, I'll build off what you said on our previous question, Sam, where it's streamlined customer experiences, right? You see a lot of retailers where they have billboard signage in store where you can interact with their brand in the store. So it's like whether you're seeing their ad on CTV, whether you're in the store, whether you see something on a billboard, there's an opportunity to like engage with that app and like streamline the user experience to you, whether it's mobile order and pay type options or picking something up or trialing a new product or reviewing something too. It's really kind of become, a mix of everything everywhere with the app experience.
So then help us understand, guys, just how are strategic investments in mobile app and loyalty programs actually benefiting brands, benefiting consumers, benefiting those that are watching our video? Sammy, how about you go first?
Yeah. So one of the really interesting things that loyalty marketers have done, it depends by category. I think the airline category specifically is always really interesting, or travel category is always interesting to look at, especially when it comes to loyalty programs. So if you even look at airlines, their loyalty program, or, if it's the app that folks have, is much bigger than the app itself. The loyalty program is credit cards, it's experiences, it's how to get in, how to navigate your way through your travel experience from beginning to end. Now, that is a completely strategic piece for brands to be able to offer customers, and why they should invest strategically from a mobile app perspective, and even greater more so in their loyalty programs.
Phil, are you working across any different forms of loyalty programs on behalf of your clients? We'd love to hear a little bit more about just how these mobile apps and how some of your work over your career has benefited the brands and the people using the brands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's two perspectives. Yeah, from a brand standpoint, there's a lot of brand advocacy that happens with this. You've got consumers that are very loyal to a specific brand because of how good their app experience is. I'll take QSR clients, for instance. If they go to their favorite coffee shop and they get rewards points for that, that it's incentivizing them. They're loyal to that system. It's easy. It's seamless for them to use. So, and that helps a brand to kind of have a brand advocate out there they can share that. There's social experiences too that come out of using that. And it, even for them internally as a brand, it streamlines their point A to point B. They get consumers to take an action that they're looking for them to take. And then on the consumer end, just even speaking for myself, I'm a sucker for a good app that works the way it should and makes my life easier too. Like whether it's payment systems and banking or travel, like Sammy said too, really making the customer experience really seamless. And that in turn makes you more loyal. I'm going to go back and use the Delta app or whatever it might be because it was so easy to use.
So what would you say are some key ingredients to making a successful mobile growth strategy? So on behalf of your clients, where you're sitting, both of you at InMobi, at Publicis, how do you help them make you're throwing in the flour, the eggs, the sugar, you're going to bake them something beautiful and tasty. What are the ingredients for successful mobile strategy?
I'll say from where we sit, and Sam and I have talked about this before. Is there's definitely a big focus on acquisition, and that's an important piece of it, right? You got to bring users into the app. You've got to get installs, but really it's three-pronged. It's acquisition, then it's engagement in the app. How do you make your app interesting, have cool features that make them want to stay in the app and use it and have the functionality, and then that retention, right? So are they going to come back? Because there's something about the experience in the app that makes them want to use it over and over again, such as a loyalty program or just how user friendly it is. So I think we focus so much on we got to get users, we got to get installs, which is great. That's step one. But then really starting to think a little bit more strategically about, okay, what is the experience of this app bringing? And how can I get my customer base to stay in this and feel like it's an extension of who they are and how they interact with the brand and the products.
Sammy, you looked like you were about to say something a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, Phil nailed it in the sense of really what any brand, an advertiser wants to do is have an ongoing dialogue with a customer. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of an ongoing conversation with your customer. And then I'll also say, to the question of what are the key ingredients to it being successful, what value, what benefits, what features are you bringing to make this person's life better, easier, and to Phil's point, more of a seamless experience. So if you think about QSR, it's really simple. Don't wait in line. Order ahead. I mean, amazing. If I can save someone 10 or 15 minutes before, rather than waiting in line, that's great. If there are awards around, how we can leverage promotions and offers to give that person a better experience, not necessarily just even a monetary offer, but an experience, amazing. These are all things that give customers value, and people love that. So yeah.
I love that, Sammy. So essentially, what's going to provide joy and give us time back in our day, because that's the mutual push and pull that we're engaging with different brands.
And I think just building on that, Jeremy, it's understanding people. Brands, if you understand people, you'll always be able to deliver what they want. And so I think as Phil pointed out, having that kind of personalization that really, how my life works and what you're bringing to me brings that value and makes it easier. Fantastic.
Amazing. Phil, Sammy, thank you both. We covered a lot of ground in this first episode. We can't wait to have you back for episode 2. Thank you to our fans and followers who have been watching. ATG, thank you as well. And we'll see you back for episode 2.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, in episode 2, we are going to be discussing how to overcome challenges and build strong partnerships for future growth. So thanks again, Sammy, Phil, Jeremy. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to our sponsors, InMobi.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.